Hey dudes. TKJ, I'm sorry about your ad situation. I too dislike Twitch ads. Especially because they're like the same ads over and over. Seldom is it interesting ads. It's alright. I'm glad it's alright. Oh no. Teamworm, did you just trigger a thing and it didn't go off? What have I done? Oh my god. Sammy's token expired on me. Ah. Oh, I'm a scrub. I'm a scrub. Well, they'll go off once I renew the token. One moment. One moment. Okay. I can't connect to Twitch. Please renew it in Twitch connections. That's where I am, Sammy. I am in Twitch connections. Okay, I will just completely remove my username and add it back in. Is that cool? They have to send me a text message. All right, all right. For points to go down the drain. It's 1 point. It's 1 point. All right. Wow, they sent me multiple text messages. Might have hit the button twice. All right, Sammy, are you cool? Are you cool now? Yes? No? It says yes.
Hello.
Okay. Great. Sweet. Oh shit. Then you triggered the question. Did the question go off? The question didn't go off. I'll just answer your question, TKJ. Does cold air have a taste? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, but not because it's cold. It probably just tastes like what it would taste like otherwise, right? You think it does? Ooh. What does cold air taste like? Also, apologies for Sammy not functioning. I'm a bit out of sorts. I think it has a refreshing taste. I think it definitely feels refreshing. I don't know if it's because of the taste, though. It could be. It's certainly possible. You could be right. Also, Teamworm, what did you say? There's been no internet in your building for at least 4 hours? Bro. How much does that hamper, like, engineering projects? Your, like, internal network probably functions just fine, right? You can probably still get some shit done. It tastes like nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and CO2. Oh my god. Tastes like cold water, but less. Yeah, but I'm still wondering if... Because, like, I like cold water not necessarily because of the taste, but just because cold water feels good. Unless you're very cold. Then it doesn't feel good. Which might be true for cold air, too. It might be not refreshing. If you're really cold, cold air might feel lame. I don't know if I've ever been in that situation, though. Okay, so my arms are still being pieces of shit. So they're in compression sleeves, so they don't hurt as much. But today's stream will probably be kind of short. It is a big slowdown, not having the internet. But you're like the least slowed down project. Well, I guess depending on your viewpoint, that could be good, right? Like if you like what you're doing. If you hate what you're doing right now, currently, on this project, then that's probably lame. But you know, I would hope you're happy about that. Have Dr. Pepper and Mac, like mac and cheese. I don't know if those things go together. Like I don't know if they complement each other, but those are two good things. There's so much emailing. Oh, and your licenses are largely in the cloud. Yeah. When I taught a lab course, we had to skip a day because we didn't have internet and we couldn't use a certain license. It was friggin' lame. Oh man, I can go for a Dr. Pepper. Whatever, I'll be fine. I have kombucha. It also has caffeine. It's great. Okay, so what I want to do today is I want to take this, which is our Radicate's fucking life. This is what our Radicate is going to do. He's going to, if he doesn't have any needs he needs met, if he's fully satisfied on all fronts, then he's either going to find a buddy to play with, another Radicate to play with, or a Rattata, or if he can't do that, then he's just gonna idle. But if he has needs, if he's tired, which will be measured by fatigue, then he's gonna look for his nest, and he's gonna go to sleep. This section here is for if he can't find his nest. Hey Booski, good morning to you as well. Bummer about the arms. Yeah, shit, we haven't played Baldur's Gate a whole lot recently, but dude, my arms have been like, they just decided like, fuck me. I didn't fucking do anything to them. Like sometimes I'll do a bunch of yard work and they're mad at me for like 4 or 5 days, and I'm like, okay, right. I weed whacked a lot. I get it. I didn't do shit, and they are so mad at me. It's fucking brutal. It's been like 5 months. The beginning of the year, was when I last wore the compression sleeves, and I've been like working hard, stretching my arms and shit to not have to use them, and I fucking failed. It's fucking brutal. You like that one Yippee meme that is a quote of a kid saying Yippee from being happy from having a 2 liter of Coca-Cola while playing Fortnite? Oh my god, I don't know that meme. That sounds like not good. 2 liters of Coke seems like too much for a child. It's too much for me. Holy shit. That's so much fucking Coke, man. Oh my god. Oof. Okay, so anyway, so our Radicate is gonna try to sleep. Sleep is his most important need. If he doesn't need to sleep, then he's gonna see, am I thirsty? No, am I hungry? Am I hungry? Is hunger greater than thirst? Right. So we start with, is fatigue greater than hunger or thirst? Then he'll take care of fatigue. If hunger is greater than thirst, after we've established that fatigue is not a problem, then if hunger is greater, then yes, he's gonna eat. He's gonna look for a food source. If he's at the food source, then he's gonna eat it. If he's not at the food source, he's gonna find a good food source, and then he's gonna go to it, and then he's gonna check again to see if he can eat. Hey, Doug. The kid with the 2 liters of Coke is German or something. I don't know if that's fully relevant. Do German people say yippee a lot? The only people I know who say yippee is Mario. I think. I can't think of anybody else that says yippee. Oh, and then of course the last thing is then if Radicate needs some water after no longer being tired or hungry, then he will look for some water and drink the water. If he can't find water, he's gonna find a nice source of water and go to it, and then check to see if he can drink some water. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna turn it into something that looks kind of like this. Actually, is there a better? Yeah, let's get this. This is a video where a guy is demonstrating how you'd use a behavior tree for an enemy from Hollow Knight. And I think it uses all of the basic things that we need. And that would be selector nodes and sequence nodes to change this into like pseudocode. Okay, the title of the meme is Fortnite und drink cola yippee. Oh my god. All right, internet, show it to me. Oh, it's like an actual video? Oh my god. Know your meme, do you have the answer? Oh my god. Okay, I don't know half of what he said. Hopefully it wasn't offensive. Holy shit. Children. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, his accent does make it funny. That's true. Oh, Derek, you were gonna make crepes? And like a 5-liter bowl of dough. That's a lot of dough. Oh, you're switching to Godot. For which project? The shoot. The dating sim thing, or the oh my god, what, you were working on something else too. Dang it. Dang it. You just have one project? Okay. Man, I swear you've talked to me about like 3 different projects. I guess it wouldn't make sense to switch to Godot for the tabletop RPG thing. The dating sim that's slowly shifting into something else. Interesting. Interesting. And yeah, that little kid does sound really happy. It's kind of creepy how happy he is about a giant bottle of carbonated sugar and a video game that's designed to like steal all his money. Derek working on Hades 3. Oh my god. I have seen nothing about Hades 2 except like lots of people are playing it, and apparently people are mad about the way Aphrodite looks, and lots of other people, seemingly more people, are making fun of the people who are mad about how Aphrodite looks. People were like calling her woke, but she's just like, she's like a naked lady. I don't know how that's woke. I don't fucking get it. I don't know. You've seen how you can play with the UI, and it sold Godot to you. That's interesting. I haven't looked at anything about UI stuff for Godot. Woke people love being naked. I saw one person's take on it, which is that like if she's naked because she finds that empowering, then that's woke. But if she's naked because like people force her to be, then that's like not woke. And like people are mad because she wants to be naked and she finds it empowering, or fucking something. I don't fucking know. It seems like people are mad over not really a thing to be mad about, but like that's the internet. Can I just paste this whole thing? Hell yeah. Okay. So I want a thing that's about the same size. I don't think I actually, oh boy, okay, I screwed that up. I don't think I actually want to copy this because we're gonna have to change the structure. Like this works great as a flowchart, but some of these like repeat loops will be taken care of by the way that behavior trees work, as far as I understand. So we're gonna call this like pseudocode. Because it's not actually in code, but we're breaking it down into a format that makes it easier to translate into code. It should be like, it's like one step away from code. Brother works in a daycare, and for the last day, played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Hell yeah. He's good at Mario Kart, so he gets to bully his kids in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch. Oh my god. I feel like the right thing to do is to maybe let them win. Not like, maybe not fully, but like, you know, don't just fucking crush them. That's fucking mean. That's so fucking brutal. Okay, so the primary things that we're gonna be using, crush their souls. Oh my god. There's a podcast I watch every week called The WAN Show. It can never remember what it stands for. It's like a tech channel podcast. It's the Linus Tech Tips podcast. And the 2 people who host it, one of them is Linus of Linus Tech Tips, and the other guy is Luke, who's been working for Linus, like he was like Linus's first employee. And they just talk about like tech news and share stupid stories and stuff. And Luke at some point went to like a Nintendo thing, and they had him play Mario Kart on stage with like some much younger people, and he was like way too far away for the controller to work right. So they like did one round, and then after that he like insisted on moving, and they like tried to stop him, but he like moved closer to the machine and then just like crushed these poor children at Mario Kart. And then at the end, he said he tried to not actually win. He tried to just like get to the finish line first and then drive off the side of the road. But it had the stupid like autopilot on, and it wouldn't let him drive off the side of the road. It's fucking brutal. You can't believe Linus is from Linus Tech Tips. I know, right? Right. You want to play some super checks after stream? Yeah, Teamworm. I assumed you watched Wan Show. I feel like you've talked about it at some point before. It's a good show. Linus is kind of a doofus sometimes, but in a lot of ways he seems like a genuine person. And I like Luke's energy. And now that Dan's part of it, Dan's great. I might like Dan more than Linus. I want to play some atomic chess after stream. Super Checks is like some weird hockey game that they always play after they do the WAN show. At least I think it's hockey. So I need to recap. So a selector node is part of a behavior tree, and what it's going to do is its goal is to choose between actions. So it starts from left to right, and if any of these actions succeeds, then it's like, okay, I'm done. Whereas a sequence node, its goal is to do all these things in order. And so if it gets a failure, then it says I'm done. So the way that this thing is set up to work is, this is for an enemy that's going to either attack or patrol. So the selector node starts with trying to attack, and only if it cannot attack will it have the enemy patrol. And then to decide whether or not it was successful, in the like attack section, it looks at this sequence node, and first it checks to see if the player's close. If the player's not close, then it's like, okay, I'm done. Go all the way back to the top and say like, we can't attack, so you should try to patrol. But then if the player is close, if this is successful, then we go on to the next part of it, and the enemy tries to move to the player. If that fails, then same thing. It's gonna go back to patrol. Maybe because the enemy is like blocked by something, or for some other reason can't reach the player. But if that succeeds, then we go on to, okay, you've reached the player, and now you get to hurt them. And then you've reached the end of your sequence. So whether this fails or succeeds, then actually, I guess if it fails, then the selector would go to try and patrol. If it succeeds, then the selector is going to be like, okay, I'm done. I succeeded at one of my actions. And this will repeat typically every single frame of the game. Every time there's a new frame, this is going to try to run again. So we need to copy that shit and use selectors and sequences to make our Radicates tree. When Linus had to leave, they subbed Dan in. Yeah, that was actually really nice. They talked a lot about making video games and Godot, which is pretty cool. Are we having Lore Thursday this week? I think we might do that. Yeah, I need more chill time where I'm like not doing a whole lot. It's still undecided, but I think that's what we're gonna do. And we'll either figure out the beginning of the story, or make some characters, or design some of our Pokemon likes, our symbiotes. Yeah, Dirk, I think that's what we're gonna do. You know what? Sure, let's just lock that in. That's what we're gonna do. Unless my arms get much worse, that's what we'll do. I will update the schedule after the stream. Okay, so what are we starting with? We're starting with checking to see if our needs are met. So how do we actually like format that like this? We're going to have a selector. And yeah, I think we're gonna have to reformat this quite a bit. which is fine. That's fine. So, God, it's so hard to like conceptualize this step for me. So what we want to do is not a sequence of things. We want to choose one thing, right? We want to either have the Raticate play or go take care of its needs. And so I guess we could look at that as like, actually, I don't think we should call this playing. We should call this like, something that implies that it could play or idle. Oh no, Booski, I do want to play Animal Well. I watched Kyle Bosman stream like 20 minutes of it yesterday and was like, yeah, I'm gonna play this game, so I'm not gonna fucking watch him play it. It seems really cool. Okay, how do we conceptualize that? Maybe we could do wants or needs. And needs are gonna have to be on the left because it goes from left to right. Okay, so yeah, let's go with that. So we'll call this like the root selector. And so this is always going to be the heart of our tree. And then it's going to go to two things. And no, that's not how I want that to look. We'll just do this. Do that. Needs first. Needs first. Ooh, I can make them boxes. Okay, good point. Good point. Now, is that just going to be me putting borders around them, or is there somewhere I can just make them a cool shape? All right. P at the start of the status bar. Ooh, okay, hold on. Yeah, let's do it that way. Let's check it out that way. Cool. Okay, now what is this compared to that? Okay, that's what we want. Do you want to, what are you? Oh. Interesting format. Okay, that's not what I want. All right, so this will be a root selector, and yeah, actually, based on this guy's situation, we should keep naming them what they are here, and then have a little explanation of what it is on the arrow. Make the arrows straight. I don't want to make anybody straight. They can be whatever they want. Okay, but actually, how do I do that? Okay. All right, sure. Okay, so needs, actually, we're going to change it to a selector, and then we're going to write needs like up here. Can I like add? Yeah, okay, we want text off the middle, but I don't want it like that. Sir. Okay, I don't think I want that like that. I can double click on an arrow to move it. Would that actually do what I want in this situation? Like this will move. I don't want to actually move the arrow. I want to move the text on top of the arrow. So actually, I think it'll be fine to just have some floating text right here. Oh my God, you're enormous. Why did I write the word next? Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't select the blue dot then? Well, it wouldn't let me drag the text. I'll try it again with the next one. Okay, that's good enough. You could maybe be a little bigger. Something like that. It will. Okay, I'll trust you. I will do it on the next one. And then I will change this one accordingly. Okay, so this is going to be the part of the fucking thing that fulfills his needs. It's going to be a selector. Because we're still selecting between needs. We only want to try to fulfill one at a time. Okay. So I'm just going to call this the need selector. Just drag the text out of the arrow. I did try that. I probably just didn't start in the right spot. It's fine. Okay, so now we need another arrow coming off of this. No, not that. Not that. Can I? Oh no. Now hold on. Okay. If I just drag, it'll do it. Great. Be that kind of arrow. If we just drag, all right, cool. Okay, so something like that. I'll put some text at the end. And this one is going to be for wants. And then let's, oh, nope. Okay. I thought I could fix that. You can, there is a way to. Yep, just do that. It all makes sense. This was made by smart people. Okay, so let's try this again. So we want to add text here. And this is going to be for wants. And now let's click out of it. So we don't have the cursor. Okay. All right. Surprise, Dirk was correct. Cool. Okay, so that's like perfect. Heavy emphasis on the like. Not quite. That's fine. Okay, and then let's turn you into a box. And we'll turn you into a box. You're never correct, but sometimes you just make sense. Oh my god, shut up. You're correct sometimes. Probably a lot of the time. I want that centered. Sure. All right. So at some point in these chains, we're going to get to a sequence. We're going to keep doing selectors. And I think that's going to be pretty typical. Like, you're going through this giant hierarchy to select something. And then often at the end, you will have a sequence. Sometimes not, I guess. Sometimes not. Okay, so let's say we're hanging out in the needs, which are definitely more complicated than the wants. But whatever, we'll just go from left to right. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is fatigue, because that's our most important thing. So that's you go from like top to bottom, left to right. So whatever's on the left will be attempted to be done first. And so I guess it would just be like a fatigue check. It would be this specific thing. Actually, hold on. Okay, it's going to be slightly different because we're already talking about only being over here if there are needs that are above 50%. So again, we're going to have fatigue, hunger, and thirst like tracked for each creature. And then they're going to use those meters to decide what they should be doing in the background while the player's going about doing stuff. You can create boxes to begin with. Let's see. Okay, we know we need an arrow off of this. And then... right. Okay. need to get in the habit of, that's what I want. I always want the arrow to be at the top. Kind of annoying because sometimes I want to just bring it over here, but then it tries to put the arrow down there. I bet there's a way to stop that, but you don't need an arrow, just pull on the blue dot. Oh, shit. Sweet. Dirk, how about you make a video where you teach people how to use this and then I just watch it? We'll do a stream where I just watch your video about how to use Miro. Okay, so we want to start with fatigue, right? And I think this one will be a sequence, and it will check. It will check the things we need to check. I don't know what functionality I need. Sure. Just predict it. We want to start with if needs are sated. Well, so I was thinking the way that this would go, because it's always going to try to go from top to bottom and left to right. Essentially, like right here, it should say, just like this starts with, is the player close? This should ask, are, like, I was thinking it would ask both, is fatigue over 50? And are any needs over 50? But I guess, yeah, this would be too far. We would already be in the fatigue zone, and we would have to ask the same question multiple times. So, okay. I don't care about whatever that is. Sorry, Miro. Okay. So then we want to ask if we actually have any needs. So how would we actually do that? I think so. At the end of this, he like nicely listed out all the kinds of the basic kinds of tree nodes and leaf nodes. Right here. And so then the thing that we want is like a conditional check. We want to check on a condition, but we don't want it to be a leaf. We want it to be, well, actually, I guess it could be a leaf. Because the whole thing with a selector is if you fail, then you go on to the next thing. So the check could be just right here. Boy, we're gonna need more space for that guy. And then, so if this failed, then it would go on to wants. But the thing is, ooh, okay, so then we want this to be a sequence then. So like going back to here, yeah, okay, we want this to be a sequence. And then we want to make this bigger. Okay, and so then let me think about that. Just like this would try to attack, and then it would say, is the player close? If that's a no, then we just don't do anything else in here. We go all the way back to the top and go, okay, just go do the other thing. Right? And that's what we want. If this is a no, if there are no needs greater than 50, if that's a no, then we want to just go all the way back up, and then Radicate is free to deal with the things he wants. That sounds right. That sounds right to me. Okay. So then if it's a yes, then we would want to go to the next situation. There we go. Because before the need sequence, how would we actually do that? Durg, I think you might be right, but you might be wrong because of how behavior trees are conceptualized. And like this example. Do it my way. I can only see how to do it this way. If I can't figure it out, then maybe we try it your way. But the reason I'm thinking this is the way that these nodes are set up. Like you might think you would check to see if the player is close to even begin trying to attack. But what you actually do is you go into your attack sequence and then check if the player's close. And then if they're not, then you go back out all the way back to the top. I think that's just a weird aspect of behavior trees. So yeah, let me see if I can format it this way sensibly, because it still is confusing to me the way that this has to be set up. Like, I feel like I'm a computer trying to program things with zeros and ones, but instead it's like yes or no's. Okay, so then let's say if this is a no, it's easy and we understand it. But if this is a yes, then we would go on to check the next thing, which kind of, can I like paste on the end? Oh, okay. Well, we could lock it onto you after. Okay, because first we would see if any needs are above 50. And then we want to check after that. Ooh, okay. So this doesn't work. I don't think this works because or we have to go deeper. Okay, so I don't think this works because our goal is to get like all yeses, and once we get a no, this is going to stop. But if we, okay, oh my God. If we get a single yes in here within this sequence, then the tree will be satisfied and it's not going to do the other side. That is the thing about a behavior tree, is it's looking for a success that it can stop at. And so if this sequence gets a no, then it's going to go back up to the tree and be like, I wasn't successful, so do your other thing. Or this frame of the game. So then, as long as we're getting yeses, this continues along. But I think what I actually need to do right here is make another make another node that goes deeper. Like this is going to be a leaf, but this needs to go deeper. Because what we want to do is we want to make sure that fatigue is greater than or equal to hunger or thirst, because the goal here is to satisfy the most pressing need. Also, welcome back, TKJ. Okay, so our goal is to satisfy the most pressing need. So then we want a selector? Because at this point, we're trying to select which one of these things we want to do. Either deal with fatigue, deal with hunger, or deal with thirst. So I think that makes sense to have a selector. So I guess this we could just call... I want to keep with the plural wants and needs. No. When it's up here and just written as needs, that seems fine, but needs sequence and needs selector seem pretty clear. Okay, and then actually, I kind of like you being one line. And being just as tall as everybody else. Yeah. And then we'll straighten you out. Nope. Right, there we go. Okay. Okay, so... So we go to here if any of our needs are greater than 50%, right? Because this is a sequence. So the sequence will try to do all these things in order until it fails or gets one that is, it can succeed, it can fail, or it can be running, whereas like it is doing something. And that is, I guess, in a way, a success. It means the tree was able to do something, and that's what it's trying to do, is do things. So from this selector now, we would need a bunch of other selectors? Shit, okay, so how are we gonna choose which one to do? We would... okay, we would start with another situation just like up above here with some kind of check. So like we're going to check to see, is fatigue greater than thirst and hunger? Damn, okay, we'll just have to do these as 2 lines. Not 3, not 3. It's 2. Actually, let's write it like this. And I believe I had prioritized thirst as last. Okay, yeah, so let's change that order. Okay, so something like that. Making your first 2D game right now, so you might be absent. That's fine, dude. Have fun. Show me what you make if it's something you think is worth sharing. Okay. Also a good thing so you won't cause ruckus and anxiety. Oh my god, Dirk, you're fine. You don't cause me anxiety. You cause me help. The amount of anxiety I get from your questions compared to the helpfulness of them is like minuscule. It's, oh, you're making the tutorial game. Okay, for sure. It's a pretty fun experience. I do wish they explained more what each piece of code meant. They're just like, copy and paste this code. And like, I wish they would tell you, they do tell you a little bit what each thing means, but I don't know, like the way that a puzzle game will kind of tweak and change things to make sure you understand the meaning of things. I kind of wish they explained a line of code and then we're like, and if we did it like this, it would do this other thing. That's why we're not doing it like that. Okay, so this is just like a conditional check. Do we need to go? Crap, we might need to go deeper. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's just keep going. So actually, this would need to be a sequence. Shit. Oh my god, food or drink, which one usually tastes better? Whatever. It's like whatever I need at the time, you know. Like right now, I need like liquid in my mouth regularly to stop my mouth from being dry because I'm talking. So like 100% drink tastes good right now. Food would, well, no, food would still taste good. Okay, no, it's just based on whether you're thirsty or hungry. Totally. I'm gonna say it's 100% based on your needs. There are a lot more drinks that taste better than food. Well, I don't know about that. That would be interesting, though, to see. And also, are you saying categories of drinks and food? Like, does soda just count as one kind of drink? Or does each flavor of soda count as its own thing? And even then, man, I feel like food might still win. There's so many different kinds of foods. There are a lot of kinds of drinks, but I think there are more kinds of foods. Damn. I bet somebody with like a database could check that. Like at grocery stores. They can probably sort their inventory and you could probably ask somebody like, how many different drinks do you sell? How many different different barcodes of drinks do you have? I assume they would know. You can turn some food into drinks and it would be good. Can you turn some drinks into food? I guess if you're willing to eat frozen things. Also, what is Jell-O? Yeah, if you freeze it, sure, but then like, yeah, it would have to be something like ice cream where you could actually eat it. I feel like it's weird to say that you eat ice because usually you chew ice until it like turns to liquid. I don't know people who just swallow ice straight on. You can make Jell-O. Like alcohol Jell-O. Sweet. I don't really like Jell-O a whole lot. Jell-O with alcohol is... oh, it's okay. Fuck, does this need to be a sequence? Because the idea would be it wants to see this and get a yes, and then go on to do its thing. Ooh, okay. God, yeah, this needs to be structured differently. Dirk might be right. I wonder if designing it backwards would... You're way less picky about drinks than food. Yeah, I would say me too, but I feel like it's just because drinks are so much more narrow. Like food has so many different forms. It can have liquid in it. It can have so many different textures. The texture of most drinks is like, it has the same texture as water. Some drinks are like thicker and goopier, or like boba has actual things you chew or eat in it. But I feel like most drinks are just like the same texture as water. So there's way less to be like picky about. I should use separate leaf/trees to satisfy each need. Yeah, I can't like see how to do that. And I think they should all be the same. They should all be part of the same parent tree, because this is all what they're trying to figure out. Hey, big guy. This is all the action that Raticate will be taking. Any action that Raticate might take needs to be included in this tree. But yeah, I feel like I'm going about this wrong. I feel like Durg might be correct. You can call them in a parent tree. Okay, if I did that, though, it would still make sense to lay them out as one big tree, right? You count soup as a 2-in-1, a drink and a food. I don't know if that's fair. They are separate behaviors that you call as functions. Yeah, but the tree, essentially the goal of the tree is going to be choosing those functions and to not accidentally try and tell Raticate to do 2 different things at once, right? Okay, so... Dang. You can air it? I could do what now? Shoot. Okay, hold on. Let's think about this again from the ground up. It's a brain fart. Okay. All right. So we specifically want to check to see if our needs are met before we go on to doing anything else in an area. And that, like, conceptually is the same as this guy's situation. I don't need a sequence. Yeah, I think one of the spots that I have sequence needs to be a selector for sure. So this would need to be a sequence if I want to do a check and then move into this. But then would this just be a selector? This dev shit seems complicated. Dude, it's like not, but it is. This is like the simplest fucking thing. I'm just trying to like decide what a stupid little creature should be doing with a bunch of like yes or no questions. And like, holy shit, I can't structure it right. It's so confusing. It makes so much sense when I look at someone else's example. I want to check each one there. Well, I think... So here, you for sure want to do a sequence if we put the check here. Because... Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. You'd want this one to be a selector because you want to keep going and until one of them succeeds. You're right. Okay, and so then for this one... So I guess we could call this like... Damn it, bro. Hate that you do that, Miro. I'm sure there's a way for me to avoid you doing that. Let's see, so would we then have a fatigue sequence? Okay, wait, this might be correct. Okay, so let me think about this, because I think what we would do is have a sequence for each one attached to this selector. Let me like do that real quick, and then I'll try to like run through an example and see if it works. So fatigue sequence, and then we would have hunger sequence. And then we would also have a thirst sequence. And then we're going to put that up here. We're going to move that in line with this stuff. Okay, so the idea is going to be if Raticate has a need, then we're going to go to this sequence. The sequence needs to be a sequence because first we check, do you have a need above 50%? And that's how we're defining like actually having a need that needs to be satisfied. The question thing is out of stock. Yeah, you can only ask a few within a certain period of time. I need to protect myself from spam, you know? So if we have a need that's above 50%, then the way that a sequence works is a yes sends you to the next one, which will then be a selector that is only going to choose one of these things. And so then each of these things we're going to work on now. Okay, I think this will work. Shit. You must ask somewhere else. There will be a mesh thing in the right corner. You can select 3 boxes and there will be a mesh thing in the right corner. Oh, cool, dude. Okay, sweet. Thank you, Derg. PRB gonna bother another streamer with a question. Best of luck, TKJ. Okay. So we want to start the fatigue sequence. This is going to try to do everything that it can do in order. I gotta just get used to starting it like that. So we don't just want to know is fatigue more than 50%. That's where we want to start. But then we're going to need to ask another thing. Damn it. I'm going to run out of room. Let's make this boy big. And we'll just put those over there for now. So we're going to go in order. And if we get a no, then we're going to be done. And we're going to come back up to needs and try to go to the next one to get a yes. Okay. So yes, this makes sense. And so then the next thing we're going to do is fatigue greater than hunger? And I bet there's a way to do this more simply. I could probably compact these, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. Yes, Tylung.gif? It's not a link, yeah. What is that though? Whoa, it's a giant cat dude. Cool. I don't know that meme. Hold on, let me type it in. It's this guy. Is that... It's the leopard from Kung Fu Panda? Yeah. From Panda Kung Fu. Oh my god. Okay, so... Oh, he's the main villain. Holy shit. I've seen the first Kung Fu Panda. I was pretty high. I don't really remember a lot about it. Let's kind of reposition this to not be so crazy. Okay, so... God, this is so poorly laid out. So this whole sequence, the goal is like, is fatigue greater than 50? Yes. Is it greater than hunger? Yes. Is it greater than thirst? Yes. If we get a no for either of these, then we're going to be going back up to the needs selector to then go deal with our hunger or our thirst before dealing with fatigue. You can lay questions alone under another and connect to the side. You can lay questions one under the other. One under another and connect to the side. I mean, actually, even just doing something like this kind of works. It kind of helps compress the space. It's a little smaller. Okay, so then, but then what do we do? What do we do if we actually need to fulfill our fatigue requirements? You must stop optimizing. It's absolutely fine for you to tell me. Just accept me not always doing it, right? Because like, if it's easy, I'll do it. If I don't get it right away, like, you know, this is okay. It's all right. It doesn't look great, but it works. So now we have finally gotten to the yes right here. So now we need to do all of this. So we need to either go into our nest or get to our nest. So that, I guess, would be a sequence as well. We're going to say, like, are we at our nest? Oh, well, no, because that would get us a no. Ooh. Okay, how the fuck? Okay. We either need to go into our nest or we need to go to our nest. So I guess we're going to want a selector. Yeah. So we'll call this one the fatigue selector. And then damn, but we want to start with like a check, right? Oh, no, we don't, because, right, we just try to go in our nest. Oh my god, how is this confusing? How is this confusing? It's so simply set up. It's, like, so simple and logical. I just can't fucking... So, all we would do is, like, go into nest. And if this fails, then we'll try to do the other thing. Because that's how a selector works. It tries the left thing, and if that fails, then it tries the next thing, and if that fails, then it tries the next thing, and it only stops once it gets either a success or like, I'm busy, I'm doing the thing. Oh my god, okay. So we're either gonna go into our nest, or we're gonna go to nest. Whoa. Okay, I just want to drag and highlight, and then do that. Oh. Okay, that's my fault, Miro. That's my fault. I didn't... Okay. Oh, crap. Dirk, does that mean you need to attend to your crepes? Okay. And so I think this is the first thing we've run into where this is not going to just immediately succeed. It's going to be like running, and this is going to like trigger the action for the Raticate to walk to its nest. Don't select arrows when I do a thing. When I did this thing? Oh. Okay, hold on, let's test it. Ooh, now that would be hard if you're like in this situation. Can I just like control click Well, no, Dirk, I think it just goes, it organizes it in the closest way possible, which I think is the smart thing to do. I just wasn't thinking it would do that. So I did only select the boxes and still have the same problem. It's fine. It's fine. It will always just push me toward whatever kind of organization is closer. Just expand the select box. Whoa. Or pull on the mesh icon. Wait, you can, whoa. Well, now hold on. Okay. Hold on. Well, okay, I actually can't do that from here. All right, you know what? It's fine. It's not important. I'll fuck with this on my own time. Honestly, actually, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make a note. I need to watch Miro tutorials. If I spend 20 minutes learning how to save time, it'll be worth it in the long run. I feel like I'll always be using Miro or something like it. Oh god, I hope Miro doesn't get shitty like Google. Google's gotten really shitty. My fucking holy shit. I'm gonna complain for a second. Google bugs me every time I look at my photos. They're like, wait a minute, hold on. Your photos aren't backed up on your Google Drive. Like, you could lose your precious memories. And like, shut up. Like, I still have my old phone with all of my old photos on it. All those photos are also saved on my computer. Like, it's fine. But I was like, okay, fine. I'll click yes. And they were like, okay, great. And then a few minutes later, they were like, hey, your Google Drive is completely full and you can't send or receive emails because we put all your fucking photos on it. And I just like, what? And then I was like, okay, delete the photos. And they were like, okay, we can delete like 31 at a time. Which ones do you want to delete? 31 blurry ones at a time? How about 31 large video files at a time? Like, fuck, man. Oh my god. Yeah, because they wanted me to pay money for more. I skipped over the whole important part because I'm terrible at telling stories. They were like, fucking, you could give us like, just like $1 a month or even just 50 cents a month. And we'll give you more storage space. And in fact, we'll only charge you like 25 cents for your first 2 months. And then it goes back to being $1 a month. It's like, holy shit, you guys, you're such assholes. Oh my god. Oh my god, man. Fucking bastard people. Ugh. Okay, so anyway. Back to what actually matters. Using Miro. Cool, telling a story. I could be better. I get distracted, If I told a story with like a little like some bullet points, I could probably nail it. That's how I gave presentations in college. That's how they told me to give presentations in college. And that like always fucking works. If you know what you're talking about and you just have like a little tiny, like just a few little bullet points to hit that you just reference, like that shit's fucking perfect. Okay. So I think this is good. Like if we have a Rattata, let's say he's very thirsty and he's very tired, but he's more thirsty than tired. It would go into needs. It would check. Do you have needs above 50? The answer would be yes. Then we'd go to the needs selector and we would start with fatigue and we would say, is fatigue above 50? It is. Fatigue's above hunger? It is. Is fatigue above thirst? No, it might not be. And then we would go to thirst. But if it was, we would keep going. We'd go to the selector and we would try to go into our nest because maybe we're right next to our nest. But we're probably not. And so in that case, we would go to our nest. And then everything would start over and we'd get down. And then if we're at our nest, then boom, we'd go to our nest. Going to nest is not just sleep. That's true. That's true, but for this, I guess all we're concerned about is going into your nest will help with your fatigue, right? And shit, actually, that's an interesting thing to think about. When I add a day-night cycle, he's gonna need to go into his nest at night if he's not nocturnal. That's gonna be a fucking thing. Use source, reach source. Isn't that? I mean, that's basically what we have. I guess sure. We could just say like, use nest, go to nest. But like, you know, that's pretty much what we got. Okay, this is gonna need so much fucking space. Oh my god. Oh, it's gonna get simpler as we go along, though. Okay. So... Shit. Let's do this one by one. So we want to check, in this case, hunger. Is our hunger greater than 50? But then we don't need to check fatigue because we're only here. Shit, okay. We're only here if hunger or thirst is greater than fatigue. Oh shit, it's one or the other though. Now hold on. Okay, no, we do. And you know what, honestly, if I'm a little bit redundant in this and we lose a tiny bit of performance, like hopefully the game can handle it. I don't know. I'm almost there. It almost makes sense. Okay, let's just restructure it all and then think about what we do or don't actually need to do. So yeah, I think we don't need this, right? Because we wouldn't be here if this wasn't true. Okay, you know what? Let's create a fake situation. Let's create a fake situation. Let's say fatigue is to be above 50. Like, let's say fatigue is 60. Do we actually care if hunger is greater than fatigue? Let's say something like that. Because what we want to be in here when we should be in here. And we should be in here doing the hunger sequence only when hunger is the most pressing thing. Ooh, I should use colored nodes. You said knots. Could have meant nodes, you could have meant dots, you could have meant notes. I should use something to represent fatigue, hunger, and thirst. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. All right, let's try to format it once we get this sequence done. Okay, so we're only here. Specifically, we're only right here if our hunger is above 50%, but we already know that fatigue is not greater than hunger. You mean for test situation boxes, not in the tree? Test situation boxes. Like actually in Godot? Oh Oh, for this. Oh my god. That thing. That test situation. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, how do we... You know what? No. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine like this. We're just gonna delete this in a second. It's all good. Okay, so actually, before we go through these examples, and actually, did I save? Oh, I had 3 examples written over here. I'm gonna make 3 different examples. I'm gonna make the whole tree, and then we'll see. Okay, so like we know if fatigue is highest, it's gonna work fine, but we should test that. And then we'll do one where hunger is highest. Yeah, that should be important. And also I realized we need greater than or equal to in certain spots. Yeah. Do one where they're all the same. That's a good idea too, yeah. My god, bro. Okay. So we actually need right here greater than or equal to, because we would get tripped up in a situation where they are equal, and fatigue is always the higher priority. So if it's greater than or equal to, then we're okay with going into our fatigue selector. And so then, yeah, I'm pretty sure we don't need to do this here. We'll make sure we don't with our example, because then all we need to do is hunger greater than or equal to thirst. And then if it is, then we start. Can I drag you, sir? Thank you. Then we start the hunger selector, and that is going to be use food. And a big part of behavior trees. Hello, Greg. Oh, well, she doesn't care about me anymore. Is that you can reuse components. So what we want Raticate to do is to eat berries from a bush. But I think for now we're going to describe this as use food. And because that uses more general terms, we could reuse this command for a different creature. And as long as Raticate knows that its food is a berry bush, if the other creature knows that its food is something else, we could still use the use food command, and it would be able to eat like an apple off of a tree or something. As long as we're defining what food is for each different creature, and also what happens when you use any individual food source. And then this will just be, it's just going to be go to food. But okay, we did talk about how this actually might need to be a little bit more complicated. This might need to be its own sequence. Because what we want to do is find a good food source. And so what that is going to be is some kind of determination of where is there a good food source? Where is the best food source? And the best food source is a food source that is close, but also a food source that is dense. So a Raticate might be sitting right next to a berry bush that has one berry. But if he goes for that, and so does a bunch of other Raticates because they're right by a watering hole or something, that's not a great choice necessarily. especially if just a few spaces away, there's so many berry bushes with so many berries. So we need to both focus on the closeness and the density of food to determine a kind of like best location to go to. And not just a location, but one specific bush. Like Raticate's gonna choose the best bush that is surrounded by a bunch of other bushes. And so then that way, even if he gets to the best bush and a bunch of other Raticate have already eaten all the berries he wanted to eat, then he'll run this calculation again, and he should get that the best bush is a bush right next to him or something. Closest to Rattata, or the Rattata specifically, or Raticate in this case, because our adults are Raticates. Right, because he just wants to know, like, where is the closest food source to me? Although that would be interesting to consider, like, if it's getting closer to nighttime, they might prioritize being close to their nest. If they're hungry, they might go for a slightly less optimal food source because it's right next to their nest or something. That's an interesting idea to add in when we make this behavior tree more complicated, because as mentioned in previous streams, the whole goal of this is to just have a simple proof of concept, and then we've got to add in how the Raticate's going to interact with the player, how the Raticate will interact with the time changing between day and night, and then also potentially deciding when Raticate will like reproduce will be an issue, because then a bunch of them are going to be like sitting in their dens, like not coming out. So yeah, this is going to be very basic. And we're only going to calculate a best food source in a sort of nebulous sense. So how would we actually do that? I think we would need to do a sequence where it's the go-to food sequence. I guess we'll just call it the food sequence. No, we can have it be long. This needs to be succinct, but still long enough that I can look back at it and know exactly what I need from it. Okay, and this needs to be a sequence because our goal here is going to be to calculate best food source. Yeah, we'll go two lines. Why not? And then fitness parameter, yeah. And I think what I'll do is come up with a formula, and then we're going to like tweak it through test runs. Because we need to make sure that the Raticate isn't going really, really far away for a really good source of food. We need to make sure he's willing to go like a medium distance for a good source of food. But if it's between like a berry bush that's got a few berries, that's close, compared to a berry bush that's surrounded by other berry bushes that all have berries, that's really, really far away. Like, we got to make sure he's choosing the right ones. And so what we'll be able to do is just like spawn a bunch of berry bushes, run the game, see what Raticate does. Tweak, squeeze, pull, and all the wild things we do with formulas. I think I just tweak. My tweaking includes squeezing and pulling. But yeah, I'm thinking for this formula, it'll essentially just be like each berry bush that's close enough to the Raticate to smell it. Like, we'll decide like, Raticate, how far away can you smell? A good sense of smell means you can smell a berry bush that's 60 spaces away. Some other creature might have a worse sense of smell. They can't smell as far away, so it'll be a lower number. So you take that 60, and then you figure out, okay, what are all the berry bushes that are within 60 spaces of Raticate? Okay, each of those berry bushes, first of all, how far away is it? Some number between 0 and 60. And that'll be its distance. And then how many berries are around it, including the berries that are on it. And then that will be the other factor. Will be balancing distance and like amount of berries and finding like a sweet spot. Return success if. Return success if what? Well, I think in this case, I always want it to return a success because, right, there's always a best. Even if best is no berries. Oh my God, okay. So we had talked about this. I guess we have this fail if no food source is found. And then that would be... Ooh, okay. Now, for early tests, we might just make sure that we never run out of food. But because I want this to kind of run like a simulation, we had talked about the potential of running out of food. And I think it'll be okay. We design the environment in a way to have food sources. Yeah, so I think if we have berry bushes that like can't be destroyed, then they will eventually produce more food. And so like we had talked about how the Raticate could be stuck in this loop of like, I'm hungry, but there's no fucking food because all the other Raticates keep eating the fucking food and there's not enough sources of food. So I'm just always hungry, running from one food source to the other, but it runs out before I get there. We had talked about maybe like we set the Raticate to make fewer children. And so then over time it would solve itself. Because Raticate will leave the system by getting hunted, but they won't re-enter the system, and we'll always have new Raticates. Well, they're made as Rattatas and then they evolve into Raticates, whatever. We have new creatures added in based on the availability of food compared to how many of them there are consuming the food, and that might solve the problem fully. As long as we don't do something silly like if we let the player be able to destroy berry bushes. And then, because you know someone's gonna do it. If they realize the game is a simulation and they can destroy berry bushes, you know somebody's gonna be like, what if I destroy all the berry bushes? And then all the like poor Raticates are just like running around looking for food, but they like can't find food. So yeah, I think we just don't let the player destroy them. We control the influx of new Raticates based on the amount of food that's available. And so that since the Raticates will be hunted by other creatures, they will always be a decreasing population. What if you take all the berries? So what I was thinking with that situation is we make sure that the berries spawn fast enough that the player couldn't take all of them. Like the Raticate would still be getting some. But I do see a way for if the player is just grabbing berries all day, like they can decimate the Raticate population, which is really fucking funny to think about, and I'm totally okay with that being a thing. And like if you need the berries, fine. And I guess it could lead to a funny situation where you, the player, are trying to eradicate the population. Oh my god, that's pretty good, Dirk. That's pretty good. Oh, nice. Sometimes your puns are lazy. That one was good. That fucking worked. The player might be in a situation where they want those berries for something, like some kind of potion, or for food because they're a good food source. But then they also want to catch a like a shiny Raticate, which would mean they want as many Raticates around as possible. So they gotta choose. He got the button. You did indeed get the butt. You earned it. You earned that shit. You've probably earned it once or twice before. You've had some pretty good puns. I just forgot I have a button, you know? Okay. So yeah, he's gonna calculate the best food source. That'll be successful unless there are no food sources, in which case we have failed, and then the whole thing's gonna start over again, and then we're gonna end up back here, right? If hunger is the Raticate's biggest problem, and he fails to find a good food source, this is a weakness of this tree right now, where he's gonna end up right back in this section looking for food, and so the only saving grace will be hopefully enough berries will be growing so that he'll get some food. Back to gardening the behavioral trees. Oh my god. Indeed. Indeed. Actually, it's weird that it's a tree because it's like in reverse. Like a normal tree grows up and out. This grows like down and out. It feels more like we're making a root structure than anything. Trees have roots. I guess it's still fair to call it that. Okay, so you find the best food source. And then, shoot, are we going to need a selector here? Because if we're right next to the food source... Ooh, maybe you can have always fail in the hunger selection. So you at least get to try to drink. Okay, that's an interesting idea. So... we could have always fail at the end of it. So if it gets stuck, because it'll stop if it hits a running command. If it hits a command that it can't just execute immediately, that it needs to actually like do, then it will stop there. But I think that's a really good idea. And actually, I'm gonna leave a note of that up here. At always fail to hunger. That's a good idea. And then thirst, we don't really have to worry about it because thirst is the bottom of the barrel as far as need requirements go. And honestly, I think there will always be a source of water around. I don't think I'm going to have the player be able to affect that. And maybe if we add in weather, like we might have situations where it rains and there's more water, but like I don't think I want to simulate droughts. That's interesting, but it's not as interesting as the amount of work. Crazy Pants. Hey, girl. How's it going? Are you kind of toasty? I'm kind of toasty in this office. Crank the AC, please. Please and thank you. I want to see my breath. Please. Okay, so before we do the auto fail, I do think we need a selector here. Wait. Yeah. And actually, shoot, wait, the order of this is wrong. Oh no. Oh no. Unhinged pantaloons. You can crank it if I want, but maybe I should open a window because it's actually quite nice out here. Oh. Damn, yeah, okay. All right, okay. All right. I'm gonna go open a window. I'll be right back. Greg doesn't have any idea what to do with herself now. Okay, so we might have a problem here because the hunger selector is saying to use food before we've identified where the best food source is. Oh, penne win dove. Oh, penne win doe. Doe a deer, a female deer. How do I restructure this? Dude, I just put this backwards. Did I? Ah, fuck. Why is this so hard to conceptualize? It's like so not. Simplifying things should be easier. Oh, dove. All right. All right. All right. How do we do this? How do we fucking do this? Crazy Pants, what do you know about behavior trees? Is it at the food source? Well, it might not be. It might be, but it might not be. So this is definitely not a thing to just put here. Because at this point, it hasn't even decided what its target is. Which, if we always made sure to kind of like flush out the variable that is its food target, if it doesn't have a target, this could just fail. Jurgen, you are the same color in chat, and apparently that means you can understand his shenanigans better. It might be, yeah. 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 I have trouble translating Durg, and not from a, well, I guess maybe from a different language, but you know, the pun language doesn't always work. I think sometimes Durg is too committed to making things into a second meaning, and sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it works great. You missed him turning eradicate when we're talking about radicates into eradicate. He turned that into eradicate because we were talking about radicates dying. That's like top quality. That's like a 9 out of 10 pun. That's fucking great. But you know, the open window thing. Nah. That's like a 3. That's like a 3. And then maybe that's why I had trouble with it. You know? Maybe this is okay. But God, do we actually even need this? Because what we should do probably is do this conditional where we check. You forget to tell when the action fails, right? Well, yeah, I think things should be worded in a way where we'll know if they fail, where we shouldn't have to state why they fail. Like is player close? If that comes back with a no, that is like understood to be a failure. Conditional questions, yes is success, no is failure. And then if they're like a statement of an action, if they can't happen, then they're a failure. I think would be the idea. So this is structured in a way that might accidentally work, but I don't think is smart to do because I might screw it up if I don't structure the code just right. And there's no reason to have this be like stupid. Like this should be formatted in the correct way. So then I think we actually want a sequence here. We want to check if we're close to food. Shit. No. Wait. Fuck. Okay. Do we want a sequence or a selector? Because the selector will try to do other things. The selector is okay with failing. But it stops when you get one success. Shit. Okay. So let's just we gotta go back here. Because the first thing that we need to do with whatever this is, it's something. We know we need to check. Ooh, we don't just need to check if we're at our best food source. We need to find the best food source. So I think this needs to be another sequence. So this is like hunger sequence 2. The first sequence is checking whether or not we're actually going to initiate the action sequence. We could call this sequence 2, or we could call it action sequence. I don't know. My God. This has taken me like almost 2 hours. Holy shit. Oh my God. Okay. Well, just you do it a few times, and then you can just pull pieces and chunks for your other creatures. It's a learning process. It's okay. All right. So if we want to enact Hunger Sequence 2, and we just put it in the previous sequence. Bro, yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay, because like the whole thing is that a sequence will stop if you get a no. So the problem is, if we put it in here, we have to make sure this always comes back as a success. So we might have to mark this as always a success, even if we decide we do want it to be able to fail. Okay, so let's think about that. What happens? Let's say we don't do that. We're not going to mark it as always a success. Let's say we allow it to essentially fail. Like, what would that mean? That would mean, let's say there's lots of berry bushes, but there are no berries on any of the bushes. At this exact moment that this Raticate is sniffing for food, then it would probably send him, because if we're just calculating like an XY coordinate, right? His sense of smell, we are conceptualizing that his sense of smell is going to give him the XY coordinate of the best food source. And if that's just a formula, then when there are no berries, it's going to return the closest food source, even if there are no berries on that bush. So then it won't actually fail unless I set up the formula in a way that it would not return XY coordinates if there's no food. You could definitely structure it in a way that you would get like 0, 0 or like no actual answer if there are no berries around. We could just go for thirst in that situation. Yeah, is that, I guess that could be okay. Because then, sure, the Raticate's like, okay, there's no food. So then I should go deal with my thirst if I have any. Or my fatigue if I have any. And ooh, actually, well, hold on. So, okay, this would potentially be a problem because the way that we're identifying what to deal with, what need to deal with, is by whatever number is higher. Mark code blocks as bold or italic. That's an interesting idea. I mean, every single part of this is going to end up being some kind of code. Just most of it will be very simple. I think I want to finish conceptualizing this first before worrying about making it look nice, because like I understand, I can read this the way that I've made it. I'm not having trouble reading it. It's all I'm having trouble conceptualizing getting things exactly where they need to be at the right time. And like, so like a problem here is, let's say, whether we have this fail or not, I feel like we're not making, you're saying we're not making like the right choice. And best food source as a separate tree. Okay. I think if we think about an example, we might be able to more clearly analyze this situation. You're dropping accuracy for speed. First, I want to try making it accurately, mostly because I need this to just make sense to me. And then if we need to optimize, I can already see there are ways to do this more efficiently. But in a situation where hunger is the highest, oh, you mean as far as writing this? For sure. Look, let's just, it's fine how it is. It's fine how it is. Maybe. Oh my God, one moment. Open the window and immediately, like, I'm breathing in pollen air. Okay, maybe. That's why so much weird letters in wrong place in chat. Like, you're typing your messages so fast that you're filling them with errors. Look, I'm used to Team Worm's typos. Okay, I can try. I can try to manage with yours. It's fine. So, if we take this example, where hunger, everything's a problem. The Eradicate wants to deal with things when they're over 50. Everything's over 50. But it's, oh my God, my throat. Holy crap, I'm dying. Wow. Okay. Eradicate wants to deal with every single one of these problems, but it is decided hunger is most important because it's at 70. So he's more hungry than he is thirsty or tired, but he is thirsty, tired, and hungry. So if growling Seth, yeah, dude, oh my God, that was fucking crazy. It's just getting warm here, which means like there's fucking pollen everywhere. Hesh when you have started your rock band. Hesh. Okay, you've corrected that to like sheesh. Like you're saying like, when am I gonna start a rock band? No. It's not that kind of growling. It's not cool growling. Damn, that would be very funny to have a rock band where the lead singer sounds all growly and crazy, but like the songs are just about how he has allergies. It'd be fun. Okay, so hunger is most important. But now imagine a scenario where we don't have food. So we come in here, we hit the hunger sequence. Eradicate asks, is my hunger over 50? Indeed it is, so let's move on. Is my hunger greater than or equal to my thirst? Indeed it is, so let's move on. And then he says, find the best food source. Now, if this fails, or if it succeeds, either way, there's not currently food in our example, so his hunger amount is not going to change, which I haven't explicitly stated that. Maybe you figured it out if you haven't watched previous videos. The idea is when Eradicate eats food, the hunger goes down. And that's a pretty easy thing to intuit, but not explicitly stated yet, I don't think, in this stream. So if Eradicate can't get to food, then his hunger would never go down, and he would be stuck looking for food forever. And we did talk about how we do have in theory, we have a very shitty solution for that, which is that Raticates, their food source continues to produce food, and there would be too many of them for everyone to be satisfied, but then some of them will get hunted. And boy, especially, they'll be easier to hunt because their fatigue is related to how much health they have. So if they're not addressing their fatigue and going and resting because they're so hungry, but they're just running around looking for food and can't satisfy it as their health gets lower and lower, they'll be easy pickings for being hunted by predators. So then their population goes down, then that gets fixed. Then finally berries are growing fast enough. It's okay. I think I'm okay with that. But then essentially what it means is that Raticate could be stuck for long periods of time not dealing with its other problems. So especially because we can set a flag, not multiply, and force their hunger down. Yeah, so the not multiply thing will be taken care of because they'll only multiply. Essentially, there's going to be a checklist for every different species when they want to multiply, when they want to make more of them. There's got to be enough food, and there's got to be enough like room for them to make a little like den. If there's way too many dens and even if there's lots of food, they still won't do it. But the problem that I'm thinking about that I hadn't really thought of before is, like, I was thinking if Raticate didn't deal with its hunger, then fatigue and thirst would slowly grow, and then they would be dealt with. But actually, all of these things are going to keep growing because naturally these things increase over time. And if Raticate can't deal with his hunger, he's going to be constantly trying to deal with his hunger, but all of his things, all of his needs, including hunger, are going to keep going up. So he'll just keep trying to deal with hunger until it hits a cap, until it's at 100%, and then he'll go sleep, but he'll never drink. So this is definitely not a good way to do this. So yeah, Durg, I think maybe what you're saying, force their hunger down, is an interesting idea. And that's kind of cheating, but again, my whole goal with this is to have like the illusion of a simulation. I don't actually want it to be a simulation. I only want it to be a simulation in so much that looks cool for the player to watch. It's not cheating. Well, it's cheating, but I'm allowed to cheat, is how I'm going to look at it. And specifically because of the loophole I've made for myself about wanting the illusion of a simulation. Called nest hoarding and body fat splitting. Whoa. Nest hoarding makes sense. Body fat splitting is an interesting term. But I think I get what you're saying. Like they would use their body fat. Or you could say like they're eating food back in their nest. So that's an interesting thing to do. So maybe we could always just kind of like pretend that Raticate has some food back in its nest. You just process the carbs you've collected as body fat. No, you mean lore of flag? What? Okay, either way, I like the idea of saying that Raticates always have like a little bit of food they could go eat in their nest. So we could bake that into best food source. Best food source? Like, let's say we have a formula where Raticate tries to find like a juicy patch of berries. And if he doesn't find like a great patch of berries, then he'll be like, well, fuck it, I got food at home. McDonald's is too busy, I got food at home. So I'm gonna put an asterisk here and actually Yeah, sure. Best includes a last resort nest food source. So this will take some tweaking to figure out exactly, but essentially what we don't want is for Radicate to go try to get some food, and then the food source he went toward, all the like other Radicate beat him to it, right? Because there's going to be like quite a few Radicate out. We'll have to figure out how many the game can support. Like I want the game to look like a teeming, vibrant world. And so maybe that means in a given area there might be like 20 Radicate. Maybe maybe the game can only handle like 12. I don't know, because we need the Radicates. We need I think there's going to be Sunflora. What are all the creatures? Hold on, they're just over here. Yeah, our grassland is going to have Sunfloras walking around doing Sunflora stuff. We're going to have Rattata / Radicate walking around doing Radicate stuff. Spearows hunting the rats. Trapinches collecting the corpses that the Spearows have hunted. So we're going to have 4 different species, and other areas will be like that. So maybe we can have like 20 of each, but like 80 creatures all being simulated in one area might be a lot. I don't know. Meanwhile, in 1 hour, 1.5 thousand Radicates on Seth's screen. Yeah. I am expecting to crash the game multiple times trying to get this into place. And like, you know I'm going to put too many zeros or misplace a decimal point or something. That I'm absolutely expecting that to happen. Okay, so then I think it's okay. I think we found a good solution. That part of the finding your best food source is an XYZ coordinate. And if there is not a really juicy patch of berries to get as an XYZ coordinate, that can essentially guarantee that the Radicate will get food, or he'll go there and maybe the one bush he was after other Radicates have eaten, but he runs this test again, and then because he's so close to the surrounding bushes, he's like, oh yeah, I'll just eat from the bush right next to me. That will have a fail-safe where if he can't find a really good patch of food, he'll just be like, okay, I've got food at home. And then that will solve the problem of not being able to find food. And then we can still use like a modified version of this equation to figure out how plentiful food is out in the world to decide if we should add more Radicates into the world. And then you call the game Plague Tale. Oh my god. I still haven't played that game. I got it for free from the Epic Game Store. And the second one looked really impressive, like visually. I remember being surprised seeing it. But I think the first one had some interesting things about it that made me intrigued for it. I can't remember at all what it is. I think it was just like a fucking it's like a brutal, sad story. I should please do. Okay, Durg is a Plague Tale fan. Maybe Halloween. October's coming up. We'll revisit. Oh my God, Hush House. What's the actual game? The Book of Hours. We'll do some more Book of Hours and maybe Plague Tale. We'll find some other fun stuff to do. You're not a fan. It's just a good game. Well, all right. Okay. Maybe it is just objectively a good game. It did sound like you were speaking from personal experience, subjective experience. Huh? That's weird to think about. I guess I do generally tell people that games are good games, even if I haven't played them. But usually I say like I've heard. But you should please do is excited. So you could be excited. You don't need to be perfectly succinct with all your statements. That's fine. All right. Okay. So we have solved our food source problem. And then we can go into our hunger sequence because we will always successfully return a food source value. And so then I should not have deleted everything. I did not need to do that. But then from here, what we're gonna do is what? We need to go to the food source. And now does this need to be a sequence or could it be a selector? I think it can be a selector. Shit. Maybe not. Hold on. No, yeah, it would be. Not sure. We'll think about it once we write it. So I'm gonna put best. And sure, we'll keep calling it a food source. Okay, so we're gonna go to the best food source, right? And then because it's a selector. Oh, you're right, Dirg. We need to check if we're at the best food source already. Shoot. Well, actually, that's making me think that this should actually be a sequence. Because first you would check. First you would check if you're at the best food source. Shoot. Yeah, because, well, wait, no, hold on. Because if that returns a no, nope, it does need to be a selector. Oh my God. How is this so hard to conceptualize? Like, it's so, like, I just can't get it. Okay, it needs to be a selector because the selector goes until it finds a yes. Oh my God, this is so confusing. Okay, so wait, we might need something else here, but the idea would be if it's not at its best food source, then it would go to food source. But then if we get a yes here, right, it would go back up. It would, because this is a sequence. Oh my God. Oh my God, I don't fucking, oh, okay. Nope. Take a moment. Think about it. What do I do? Okay, this is correct. This sequence part is correct. It gets us through checking all of the things we need to check. And then... Fuck. We get all yeses, then we hit this. And this is whatever this is, selector, sequence, a series of things. You can use sequence to emulate a selector and selector to emulate a sequence. Oh my God, you're probably right, but thinking about how I would do that is fucking crazy. And also, I should just use them. I should just use them in as simple a way as possible. And avoid emulating them if possible. So... Okay. At this point, I need to check if we're at the best food source. And then... If no, I need to go to that food source. So this is great for if it's a no. But if it's a yes, then this gets satisfied. And Okay, now hold on, hold on. Am I losing my mind? Can we just add, like, eat food to this part? Am I fucking like I'm fucking... I feel like I'm losing it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Here, let's organize this a little better. Okay. Yes, finally. Is okay, I thought about this before and then thought it was wrong. I need to run this through my head. I don't trust you yet, Dirk. I don't fucking trust you. Okay, so all of this part makes sense, right? Like we're just going through each of these, like we hit the hunger sequence. Yeah, we're fucking hungry. We're more hungry than we are thirsty. Boom, let's calculate with our sweet rat sense of smell where our food is. We know where our food is. Now we go to this, the selector, and then we say, are we at our food source? If we're not, then we go to our food source and we've hit our success. So we're this is labeled success. Then we're gonna eat food, unless I guess this would be labeled as running, and so then this would be labeled as a success. Oh, okay, that might be a problem. I don't necessarily know what happens if part of a sequence is running. I guess it stops. It probably doesn't continue in the sequence for that specific tick. Okay. And yeah, Dirk, we'll run it through the full test in just a moment. Yeah, running is not a success. It's just a stopping point. I think. I believe. I don't know. It sounds right. But either way, we need to think about the other situation where we are at the best food source, which is a yes. And because this is a selector, the selector's done. He stops when he gets a yes. And he labels himself as a success or a yes. And then we would move on to eat food. And that's absolutely fine because we are at the food source. Okay. Sequences iterate all children. They stop if a child fails or is running. Okay, they stop if a child fails or is running. Okay, great. They return failure or running if... what? I think you're missing all the grammar, but the first sentence, I think, is what we needed. Okay, so I think this makes sense. So let's do the thirst one. And then let's run through all of these examples. Sequences iterate all children. They 1, iterate all children. And 2, stop if the child fails or is running. Great. And then 3, return failure or running if depending on child. And 4, return success if all children succeeded. Ooh, they only return success if all of the children succeeded. So that's something to think about that I had not thought about. Or the needs selector. So could we... What would happen if we failed? No, actually, no, that's totally fine. Okay. Yeah, nope, it's fine. Yep, it's literally already... Well, I was thinking if this sequence fails, what happens? But that's like, we already did this correctly and set this up as a selector. And what we want is this sequence will fail sometimes, this sequence will fail sometimes, and then lead us to this sequence. So like I was worried about something that we literally already took care of. Oh my god. Okay, so it feels like we should maybe... Okay, let's put our notes up there, and let's put this over here. Oh my god, and we still have the wants. Oh my god. Greg, I need help. Do you know how to code? You got thumbs. Can you help? No. She doesn't know what she's doing. Okay. This needs to be reorganized. This needs to be in the very middle. So God, we just need so much more space. So much more space. She's got thumbs to show me a thumbs up on my code. That's cute. What a supportive creature. Oh my God. Okay, so what is the best way to do this? Let's get this out of the way. And then we want to like, can I just like drag? Okay. Okay. So this needs to be like here maybe? Oh my God. Hey, no, I just want to move this guy. And what we need to do is the main problem is we need room for the thirst sequence. And then we should also kind of centralize that. Okay. Yeah, like that's not perfect, but it's getting better. So yeah, something like that is good. You can move this a little closer. It's so simple. And then now the main problem is still that we need a wants section. The wants section will be relatively small, but ooh, holding shift restricts movement to one axis. Cool. So yeah, let's get them like lined up, and then we can, if we ever need to. Oh, that seems. Oh, what have I done? Okay, you know what? Let's put this guy like down here. Okay. Yeah, Miro is really cool. Is there... If there is just like a lifetime buy Miro thing, I would gladly do it. I'm afraid it's like dollars per month though. I fucking hate software as a service. I feel like it should be like, pay us this amount of money and you'll get some incremental updates. But if we ever do like an enormous update, you might have to pay for a newer version. I'm totally fine with that. I know software companies aren't, because they want all my fucking money. And that's fucking annoying. I let my tree down. Okay. Well, that seems good. So now I think what we can do is duplicate a lot of this. Not that. The text box. Not that. Oh no. Oh God. All right. Oh, you're gonna take the arrows too? Okay, fine. No, yeah. Mm-hmm. I got you, motherfucker. Nope. It's that. Okay. Don't know why it deletes those things together. It's fine. It's not worth worrying about. Not right now. And so then we do want you. Could I move you? Thank you. And then can I not see? I don't get to see the dotted lines unless they're zoomed out enough to see the other box that the dotted lines would come from. Okay, I'm a little bit annoyed with that. Speaking of roots, you have some dental poison killing your... What? You have some dental poison killing your root canals right now. And then you corrected that to nerve. Dude. That shit is so scary. I have a tooth that will need a root canal at some point in the future. That shit is fucking frightening. I've seen a fucking Reddit gif of the procedure for doing a root canal. It's fucking scary. Oh man. It's like it's apparently quite routine. Like statistically every adult is gonna need at least one in their fucking life. But like, Jesus Christ, I don't know. And I've had really bad luck with dentists who are just like assholes. You've had 5 of your teeth cleaned out already, as in like they've had root canals? That shit is it's not only time consuming for you, like you just have to fucking sit there for the long ass time, but I've heard recovery from root canals sucks. Dang, man. I hope you have a good dentist. Have twisted roots. Interesting. I don't even know like what that means. I assume that is bad and that it leads to more problems or something. It is like as a kid, I never really thought about like how my teeth were connected to my body. Well, yeah, it means they're not straight, but like, is it a problem? Like sometimes like people have weird parts about their body, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't actually make a difference. You know? Sometimes it does. So cleaning them takes twice as long as normal? Oh, don't put text there. I just want to click in the thing. All right. So this is the thirst sequence. It should only activate if thirst is greater than 50. Now, actually, we don't even need to check that, I think. Because if we're in here, we have some need over 50. And we've already demonstrated to be over here, thirst has to be higher than the other needs, while also some need is over 50. So the only way that's true is if either thirst itself is over 50, or if the other needs are also over 50, but thirst is even higher. So we don't need to worry about that aspect of it. And then what? Okay, you need to use instruments to take out material so the tool can reach the needed depth. Whoa. That sounds fucking crazy. Tooth material you usually don't take out. Oh, right, because with a normal normal root canal process is like you just go straight down. But if yours are like curved, then they'd have to take out more to be able to get to the bottom of that curve. Dude, that sucks. That is yeah, I think I get what you're saying now. Damn. Well, we all have bullshit we have to deal with. Some people have more bullshit than others. I hope that is something you can handle. Again, honestly, if I were you and I had a cool dentist, I wouldn't mind it. Oh, sure, yeah, local anesthetic definitely helps, sure. I had like the coolest dentist as a kid, and then a really cool dentist in college, and then that guy quit. The dentist I had as a kid, like I moved away. And then the dentist I had in college, he retired. And then from then on, like all the dentists I've had are like assholes in the weirdest way. Like one guy just wasted 2 hours of my time insisting that he could like see me. But then like I could hear him in the room next to me, like talking with his friend about like his new boat and their kids and like going on the lake. And the dental assistant went and asked him like, "Hey, should I send Seth home? Like just been sitting there, like we could reschedule." And he's like, "No, we'll get to it. We'll get to him." And then like I'm there for like another half hour. At this point, it's been like 2.5 hours. The dental assistant comes in and is like, "Sorry, like we have to close. Like he can't see you today." So that was fucking weird. Then the next dentist I found is like fixing a cavity. I had like 2 cavities I needed fixed and my teeth cleaned. And like the moment he is in my mouth drilling, he starts bitching at me about like how much Donald Trump sucks and like how Donald Trump's a piece of shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm right there with you. I fucking hate Donald Trump, but like it was like he had me hostage and I was like his therapy, his like he was just talking at me about how much he hated Donald Trump. It's like fucking, god damn it, dude. Oh man. Send him an invoice for my time. Well, you know, he was actually like fucking helping me. He was actually giving me a filling. He then later, I needed a crown on the tooth that I will need a root canal on in the future. And he did a terrible job. So I had to pay not only him for the crown, but then like a year later, I had to pay a slightly better dentist the same amount of money again to like fucking fix it. Apparently if you get a crown, but then the crown is very sensitive to hot and cold, which mine is, then it is a sign that you are too close to the nerves. And then that is a sign that you very likely need a root canal so that you don't feel that way. Like if I drink like ice water and it touches that tooth, which is like it's like a rear upper molar, it feels so terrible. So, you know, but I don't fucking, oh my God. And then Crazy Pants and I moved up here and then we found another dentist and like also he just like didn't talk to you. It was like he didn't view you as a human being. And Greg, what the hell are you doing? She just tried to go up on my computer and then like fell. You are twice crowned. You have 2 crowns. I only have 1. I'm trying to take care of my teeth well enough that I won't need another. I hate dental work. I hate fucking sitting there. And like I said, I don't have a good dentist. If I had a good dentist, it would be okay. I need to go find a good dentist. It is time to get my teeth cleaned again, and I'm not going back to the dentist that Crazy Pants and I went to up here because he would just like not talk to you. And also he did the teeth cleaning, which I've never had a dentist actually do the teeth cleaning. It's always like the dental hygienists that would do the teeth cleaning and then call the dentist in after. But like he did our teeth cleaning, both mine and Crazy Pants, and he was like in a rush, just like blasting through my mouth, scraping everything off as quickly as he could and not being like am I hurting you? Are you okay? It was the crazy fucking situation. Okay, I've complained about dentists enough. Let's fucking get this functional. Just for a meme, you got a golden brass crown on your front tooth. Okay, that is kind of fun if they let you do that. When I got my crown replaced, the guy was like, "Do you want to choose the color?" And I was like, "Can I get like bright pink? Just do you do that?" And he's like, "No, like here's the range of shades." And I was like, just match it to my teeth. And he was like, "Okay." Like that's what they normally do, but like if I could have gotten a silly bright color, that would have been fun. I would have done it. Why not? All right, so the adjustments we need to make for this. If we get to the thirst sequence, if we're in this section of the tree and we get to the thirst sequence, we already know that our thirst is greater than 50% and it's higher than the other thing. So it is the thing we're going to deal with. We don't need to do any checks. Do I have ceramic or metal? It is ceramic. It is, and it's like a special... I can't remember the exact kind of ceramic that it is, but it's like specially formed. Like they had to do a bunch of weird 3D scans of my mouth with this like strange wand so that it would fit like perfectly. And if I remember right, the metal ones are really nice because they wear out better. If you could use a metal one, it is better. And I think if they ever come out, you can like put them back in regularly. But like mine is like at some point, like 15-ish years after I got it, it's gonna like crack. It's just gonna like fucking explode in my mouth, and they're gonna have to like replace it. And that sounds horrifying. You just got your mouth gooped with silicone. Yeah, I think the metal ones are cool because they can like shape it. They can like shape it to your tooth. They only need to get it kind of right, and then they shape it after they like put it in. And then because of the like the metal is generally only used when you're like compressing on it in a certain way. And so then it like generally works okay. And if it deforms enough that it comes out, they can kind of just like reform it and put it back in as long as you're quick about it. It's super interesting. But yeah, the ceramic ones look like real teeth, but then when they fail, they like fail catastrophically. It's fucking brutal. Okay, so we're in here. We know we're thirsty. We identify the best water source. We will find one. We will not accept failure from this formula. After we find that, we then go into the selector and we then decide, are we at the best water source? If yes, then we go back up here. This is successful. We continue along the sequence. Boom, we drink some water. If we're not at the best water source, then we are going to go to the water source, and this will return running. And so then this sequence will stop here because this will be running, which means this selector will say that it's running, which means the sequence will stop, and we're fine. And then the whole chain will start again, and then we will repeat going to the water source until we get there. Then finally, this will just be, are we at our best water source? Yes. And then we will drink water. Okay. I think all of that works. Dear God, this is so complicated. Looking at like this dude's tree being like, this is how an enemy in Hollow Knight works. And like, Hollow Knight's a great game. Like, this is nothing. This is fucking nothing. Oh my God. The exact golden one, they couldn't shape it right and just sent the crown back to get remolded. Whoa. Interesting. That's brutal. It sucks when you have anything like you're waiting on a crown. When I had a temporary crown, I like couldn't eat hard foods. Fucking sucked. Should we revisit fatigue? Do we need to? Is it, I mean, well, other than going through the examples, is fatigue not okay? Or do you mean, should there be something in this tree that checks fatigue? In this section of the tree, I guess. Because yeah, maybe I do need to restructure this. Let's see. So we do all the checks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Dirk, I think you're right. I think we do need to restructure it. Good point. Okay. So let's make a little bit of room. What can we do here? Let's kind of move all y'all. That. Move you over here. Okay. Whoa, you didn't get a temporary crown? Just a temporary cement plum. I don't even know. Does that mean they just like covered your tooth in dental cement? So that it was like protected from the outside, but like you could you just not eat food? I mean, not solid food. Like I was told I could eat solid food, but it needed to be soft, which like I was just like, nope. I'm just like, just soup. I will just drink my food for a while. That's okay. Yeah, let's drag all of this. Yeah, oh, that feels so good. Oh my God, we're just being so productive. Oh my God. You ate? ... Whoa, but there was no canal already. Whoa. Okay, so there wasn't any risk of you like... like damaging the temporary cement. Interesting. I know, like, I know nothing about fucking dentistry. I find it fascinating, but it also creeps me out, you know? All right, you guys. There is there's some term that's like there are different ways that you can be disgusted as a human being. And one of them is like animal disgust, where like you're reminded that you're just like a creature. That you're not just like some special thing, that like you have organs and blood and you can get like infections and die. And that is like revolting on some level. And like, boy, dentistry just brings that out in me so bad. Okay, so these we need to change. Just a stub covered in cement, so it was barely under any pressure. Okay, sure. The horror of having a body, yeah, man. Just want to be like a little gas cloud or something floating around, free from these stresses, you know? Okay, so what we want to do is kind of model the sequence for fatigue like this. We want sleeping to be up top. So really, like, this is just going to be at nest. And then if not at nest, go to nest. And then right here, we just use nest. All right. We don't need to find a source. You're right. That part we're not modeling after. I meant the very little last part. He should always know where his nest is. Cool. Oh my god, dude. And so this is before adding in player interaction, whether the Radicate's gonna run away from the player or try to fight them. Maybe a little bit of both, depending on the situation. I'm gonna be careful not to do it too much, but I fucking love the idea of you finishing a battle and then there's a symbiote behind you, realizes you just finished a fight and then like ambushes you because you're fucking weak. I feel like Radicates might always run from you, but I don't know, like a Firo, something that is a hunter, they might be a little bastard like that and attack you right after a fight. Player interaction will be an interruption to behaviors. Yeah, that's an interesting point. There needs to be like a hierarchy, because both the player and then also like nighttime. Like I think when nighttime comes in, even if Radicate's a little bit thirsty, like he probably is like okay, I should go to bed. Like I'll just drink some water tomorrow. That's fine. I can be a tiny bit thirsty for the night because it's not safe to be out. But only if we have like predators that come out at night, which I do want to do that. I do want to have like cats and other creatures that only hunt at night. Okay, so we'll do the wants real quick. Hunger 100 Radicate would attack a player on site. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I don't think the Radicate would, because the Radicate gets its food from berries, but any predator would like absolutely register the player as a thing to just immediately attack. And then I think a predator with 100 hunger would probably just straight out attack out of desperation, but a predator with like 70 hunger would be the one to just like sit and like watch you finish your battle and then decide like, oh, okay, yeah, he's got pretty low health. I'm gonna attack that motherfucker. Which I might have to go back on that. If that's really annoying, if there's no easy way out of that, or a way out that feels fair. It would really suck to barely finish a fight and then get attacked by a predator and get fucking killed. That would fucking suck. So we'll have to. I'm definitely willing to pull back on the simulation if it's not fun. Absolutely, the whole point of this is to feel like you're part of an immersive world while also having fun. Okay, so the wants, we have the wants up here. It's just this. I'm just gonna paste him over here. He either wants to play or he wants to idle. So since we decided he wants to play if he can, then we do want this to be a selector, I suppose. Nah. Okay, hold on. Because the idea is we're gonna ask, can Radicate play? And then if it's a yes, then we want to do the play actions. And if it's no, then we just want him to kind of idle. And yeah, I guess, yeah, the actual can Radicate play really means, does Radicate see any other Radicates around that are idling and not playing? And maybe for the sake of simplicity, we'll say like one Radicate plays with another Radicate. We're not going to do like a cute little three-way fight or something. It's just like one-on-one, and that's it. And yet again, despite having just done these, like all of these, I cannot like just immediately conceptualize this. So for sure, dang it, nope, go straight down. For sure, we want to ask, can Radicate play? And we know what we mean by this. We mean, are there nearby Radicates that are idling? And if yes, so like now this feels like I'm making a sequence because we'd want to do all of these things. Right, this is a sequence that needs to exist down within a selector? Once it's a more than two, it turns into a dust cloud. That's actually a really cute idea. And then like if you, the player, bump into it, they all pop out of the cloud and are like ready to fight you. So like, oh shit, an actual fucking threat. Get him, boys. Playtime's over. Fuck him up. Fuck up the interloper. Oh my god, also that would be very fun if I could have them defeat you and then they like immediately go back to playing. In the game over screen where you're selecting whether you want to like exit the game or like load a save file or continue from your last save file, like they just immediately go back to playing. That would be fun. Okay. How like I've done like this exact thing in here. Like, so it's a sequence that will lead to a selector. Hold on. Okay, so let's just commit. Let's just conceptualize this now as a sequence. So no, because sequences go till they get a no. And they stop. This is like, I can't, my brain refuses to accept this. It makes so much sense when people explain it. When somebody outlines their cute little thing, like I can predict where they're going with it, and when they explain why it works that way, I'm like, yeah, totally. And then it comes time to make my own, and my brain is just like, ah. Okay. So if it's a selector, it would ask the question, can the Radicate play? From the selector, idle and sequence. So shit, right, because if no, then idle is fine. But if yes, so yeah, this needs to be happening in a lower thing, in a lower situation, a lower tree, a lower part of the tree. So hold on. Hold on. I feel like this is correct. So then we could call this the, like, play sequence. Because then, and then from over here, that easy, nope. And then this would be idle. Because the selector, if it fails at playing, it will idle. So that part's correct. Now for the play sequence, it's literally just asking, can Raticate play? And this means it's looking for an idling Raticate. And if yes, then I guess just play. Play should be fine. And we could also, maybe for different creatures, maybe they could play by themselves. Especially like young creatures. Like maybe they'll just like roll around and be silly instead of idling. Maybe like adult Raticates idle, but a Rattata would just have a play in here. He would just like solo play. He would just like roll around, do silly stuff. Okay. Double check that that's right. Try to fulfill your wants. All your needs are met. So now you come over to this part of the selector. You have a want. That want is to play. Then you would ask, can the Raticate play? If yes, because this is a sequence, you would play. Great, and then this would return a success, and you're done. Let's go the other way. Let's say you try to play, but there are no Raticate to play, so that returns a failure. So this comes up, this is a failure, which means, boom, you just chill out. Play with berries. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're getting a little too close to euphemisms here. Okay. So now we'll test our examples. Here, we'll just plop them right here in the middle. Okay. We don't have an example where like no needs. Actually, I guess let's just say F, H, T, all less than 50. Oh, we'll say they're 40. And Raticate. Let's see. And there's a nearby Raticate. And then same thing, but no nearby Raticate. I think we know that'll work, but yeah, I just, instead of saying they're under something, I'll just define them. So this is a more specific example, right? Like it just might as well be concrete. Okay. So first example, our fatigue is 60. Highlight the whole thing, please. Fatigue is 60, hunger is 70, and thirst is 80. Okay. So then, dang, is this visible if I'm all the way zoomed out? Oh my god. Okay. So then obviously we would start up here at our needs. Starting on the left, we would look at the needs sequence. We'd go to here. Are there any needs above 50? Yes. Yes, all the needs are above 50. Okay, then we go to the needs selector and we look on the left. We look at fatigue. Is fatigue above 50? It is. Is fatigue greater than or equal to hunger? What? Come over here. Okay, is fatigue greater than or equal to hunger? In case 1, it is not. So that's a no. So we have failed. So this is failed, and that's fine because the selector is perfectly fine with one of its nodes failing. So it just goes to the next one. And then it's like, okay, is your hunger above 50? Yeah, it is. It is. Is hunger greater than or equal to thirst? No, it's not. It's actually less. You could put hunger branch under and narrow the split between fatigue and thirst. Yeah, that's a good point. Man, I like kind of having them close by higher, like Like, I like having fatigue, hunger, and thirst all kind of close to the same line. In fact, I would like them to all be lined up because they're parallels of each other. But yeah, maybe I should just compress this. No, I like it the way it is. I like it the way it is. And in fact, I kind of want to... I kind of want all of these to be like down here. And then I would like to kind of line everything up a little better. Like that. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. I can't zoom in that much for you. Thank you. Okay. Something like that. Whatever. It doesn't need to be perfect. But yeah, I'm going to leave it wide like this. Spatially, it makes more sense to me, even though it is kind of annoying to be panning around for this example. Okay, so we were in hunger, and hunger is over 50, but then we check, is hunger greater than thirst, and it's not. Hunger is 70, thirst is 80. So then we get a no. So then this sequence fails, and that's fine, because then we just go over to thirst. And then just let me click on the box. Okay, so we should only be here. We should only arrive here if thirst is our highest thing. And you know what, let me make that bigger. Sure, that works. Okay, so thirst is in fact our highest thing. So then we end up here. And then we just go ahead and we find our best water source. Then we decide what we need to do. We check to see if we're at the best water source. If we are, great. Then we'll continue on into the sequence and we'll drink water. Okay. If we're not at the best water source, then we'll continue on down here and go to a water source. This will return as running, which means we'll stop. We'll stop for a time, but then when the whole thing reruns, we should end up back here, but then this time we will be at our best water source. So we'll get a yes here, come back up to here, and then continue on to drinking water. Great. Great success. If we look at the next example, this has fatigue and hunger being equal. So this would fail. We would end up here saying, is fatigue greater than or equal to hunger? Yes, it is. But then we would go to, is fatigue greater than or equal to thirst? And we would get a no. And so then, just like the previous example, we would get kicked over to the hunger sequence. And then we would ask, is hunger greater than 50? Yes. Is hunger greater than or equal to thirst? No. Because again, this example still has thirst being the highest. And then we would end up over by thirst, and we would do all of the thirst things. Also, just this should be clear, but you know, whenever you end with doing a thing, you're lowering that value. So in an example, if we were to follow these examples all the way through, we would have to choose like, okay, when you drink water, that's going to lower your thirst by like 60 or by 30 or by 10. We would have to decide how much it's going to lower by. And I think we would do like quite a bit, like just like a big chunk, so that you're most likely to be like fully satisfied with that thing. I think for thirst and for fatigue, those things will take a while, but they'll be satisfied. Like they'll be satisfied in a large number. So if Eradicate is willing to take the time to go and drink water, it will subtract it'll take a while, but it'll lose like 40 points off of its thirst meter. But if it goes and eats a berry, like maybe that doesn't take very long, and it would be like only minus 20 points or something. So those I'll be able to tweak separately. And that's essentially what each of the ends of these sequences will do. Use nest will essentially be like, don't move. And over a period of time, you will continue not moving. And then once you're done, you will subtract some number off of your fatigue meter. Same thing with eating food, same thing with drinking water. You'll just subtract a number, and then this behavior tree just keeps running over and over and over as those values get subtracted and added to, because over time they will be added to naturally, right? Like if you exist, you just slowly get tired, you slowly get hungry, you slowly get thirsty. So yeah, I'm only gonna run these essentially as like a high level, like run through it once. I'm not gonna assign hypothetical values to how much we would subtract and then run it over and over and over. I think the idea is to just see if we're at a good point, a good entry point, will it work correctly? Use nest is hide sprite, wait timer, get fatigue back. Yeah, exactly. We would essentially just like actually hide the sprite for a while and then wait a certain period of time. And then, then show the sprite. And for that whole process, this would be like labeled as running. So the behavior tree isn't going to be trying to do other things. We're not going to have a Raticate that thinks he's resting and is invisible, but he's going around and eating and drinking. Like, no, he's going to only be resting. The behavior tree will be waiting. And then once he's done resting, he'll get his fatigue back. And then the behavior tree will start ticking away again, trying to do whatever it needs to do to keep our Raticate alive. Okay, so let's look at the next example. This one should be easy because it's just high fatigue. So again, we would start, we have a need. We would come down to the need sequence. Do we have a need over 50? Yes, we do. Then we go into the need selector, which takes us to fatigue, the fatigue sequence. And then we would say, is our fatigue over 50? Yes. Is our fatigue greater than or equal to hunger? Yes, because 80 is greater than or equal to 60. Is our fatigue greater than or equal to thirst? Yes, that's 80 versus 75. Then we're going to go into our fatigue selector, and we're going to check, are we at our nest? If we are, great, return a success, and then go to the next thing, which is that we're going to use the nest to then gain fatigue. We'll back that up. If we're not at our nest, this returns a fail. So we go over to the next thing in the selector, which is go to nest, and that will be running. And then when the sequence goes to start again, the Raticate should be at its nest. There's a chance it won't be. Maybe it got blocked by something. And that I think is something that we need to add in. Because we did that over here. We kind of conceptualized right here, like, if there's an obstacle, what should we try to do? If there's no obstacle, then it's fine. But if there is an obstacle, then try to get past it, like try to jump over it, or a Diglett would dig under it, maybe, if possible. And then check again to see if you're at your nest. And we would only have so many times we would do this before we decided to essentially like abort the situation. But I think if we do it right, we should never actually have him get stuck. It'd be funny to have a rest animation to eventually show a nose from the nest and go back. Like he pokes his head out for a little bit, but then because he's still tired, he like pops right back in. Ooh, okay. Dang, yeah, actually, what do we do? No, that's okay. I think it's okay to have the rat come out and then decide, no, I'm still tired, and go back in. That would be fucking funny. Can you use my behavior trees? And you use my behavior trees once you get to them in your game. Oh yeah, dude. I don't fucking use whatever the fuck. I'll even, if you like need the files, I'll send them to you. Fucking whatever, man. Definitely. If they will actually be of use to you, totally. I have a feeling you might look at them and be like, oh my god, this is messy garbage. But yeah, man, for sure. I think also, if anybody is watching this on YouTube and that would help you, ask and I will just give you my fucking files. Once I start making like art for my game, like there will be some like you can use all the sprites that I draw or that I have people draw, but like you know, like give me credit. Don't just say you made it yourself. Use whatever the fuck. Yeah, pretty much. Use whatever the fuck, however the fuck you want. Just let fucking give me credit. Not for the behavior trees. Again, only for if I'm like making actual art, then the requirement to use my art will be like, please credit me for having made the thing. Yeah. Okay, so I think for now we just leave this like this and we just assume he won't get blocked. Because I think a better thing to do will be to have part of Radicate's navigation process check to see if he gets stuck and then see if he can jump over stuff. And so this will just be running that whole time when he's like moving a tile. Oh, there's a rock in my way. I can't move. Okay, I'm gonna jump over the rock. Like this thing is just stuck and running that whole time until he gets to his nest. Okay, so then that is right. Then the last part is like once he gets to his nest, then this returns a success, and then we use nest. Oh wait, no. What happens is this stays in running until it's successful. But then, because this returns running, the tree is not going to continue while this is running. Once this is done running, the whole thing will restart and will get us to a success right here, and then we will use our nest. Okay. I believe that's how it works. Behavior tree still confused me. Ah, we gator. Oh no, is that a pun I don't get? We we got it? Like we got her? That's my guess. Okay. The next one, 60, 70, 60. Oh my god, navigator. Oh my god. Okay, all right. I don't know how long it's going to take me to learn to speak Dirg, but I'll get there. It's immersion in a language is the best way to learn. Oh, shit. Okay, so again, we come immediately to check the needs sequence, which means we check if our needs are above 50. This example, yes, they are above 50, which means we come back up to the sequence, go down to the needs selector. Okay. We're going to start with fatigue. Is our fatigue above 50? It is. Is our fatigue greater than or equal to hunger? It is not. So we fail. The sequence says no. Okay, that's fine. The selector says go to the next one. Okay, now we're at the hunger sequence. So we check hunger above 50. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, next we check is hunger greater than thirst? It is in fact because 70 is greater than 60. Perfect. Okay, then we need to identify the best food source, which will either identify a dense patch of berries that Raticate can eat from, or will just find us the XY coordinate of Raticate's nest if there is no good XY coordinate for some juicy berries to go eat. Great, we move on in the sequence, then we hit the hunger selector, and we ask ourselves, are we at that XY coordinate that we just figured out? We probably won't be, so that's very likely to be a no, in which case we would go to our food source, this would return running, and so then the behavior tree would end, then it would try again, and hopefully, hunger is still the biggest issue. Hopefully, we can still identify a good food source and not too many Raticate have eaten away at the food. There's still a good food source to target. It might be a different target than we had before, but we should be slowly reaching toward a good target. Because of the way the system works. We'll either slowly be moving toward a dense patch of berries, and the one bush we go for might get might get cleaned out, but then because we went toward a very dense area, there should be other berries very close by, and one of them will be designated as the best source. And so then we check hunger selector, and then maybe we're not at the food source yet, so we try again to go to it, and then, okay, finally we will eventually get to our best food source, even if that means we have to go back to our nest. Maybe so many Raticate just keep beating our main Raticate that we're focusing on to his food source that he wants, which means eventually he will decide, fine, the best food source is my nest, in which case, when he goes to food source, he'll go back to his nest. Then when this whole thing runs again, we are finally saying, yes, we're at our food source, and then we get to eat food. Finally. Great. I know how Minecraft plants tick, so that not all plants grow each tick. Now, I do know that it's random, but I didn't necessarily research that. That is an interesting idea. So essentially you're saying that we shouldn't be increasing hunger and thirst and fatigue every tick. Yeah, I think you're right. And that maybe every... We'd have to fine tune it. We'd have to actually sit and watch and decide how quickly we want things to increase. But yeah, I think it's a good idea to kind of randomly increase each Raticate's food, I guess, fatigue, hunger, and thirst at different times. And so yeah, that's an interesting idea. And yeah, sure, it would definitely lower the amount of calculation needing to be done if I do it right. So maybe the thing to do would be to essentially like make a random number, and then like let's say every Raticate gets assigned to it when it's created a tick number. One Raticate has the number 1, another Raticate has the number 2, another one has 3. They all have like a different number, like 1 through 20. And then every 20 frames of in-game time, I would roll a die to see who's going to get their needs increased. If you don't do it right, the tree says do it again. You've consulted Ceph behavioral trees. Oh my god. This is the Raticate behavioral tree. Okay, this is not the Ceph behavioral tree. But yeah, no, I like the idea that you're putting forth. I think I can conceive of a way to do it that would be simple, that I could handle programming right now. I bet there's always a more efficient way to do it. But I can kind of see a way to kind of decide, like, this Raticate will change his needs when this number comes up. This Raticate will change his needs when this number comes up. And then you just roll a random number to see which Raticate's needs are changing. And maybe it's not just random. Maybe it's like pseudo-random. We need a little bit of weighting. Like if it's just random, there could be a Raticate who's just like, nah, man, life's good. Like, for some reason, I just keep not being hungry. I keep not being thirsty. I keep not being tired. Like, maybe the more often that Eradicate's needs aren't ticked and increased, he would be more likely the next time to get chosen to increase one of his needs, let's say. Or all of them. I think I'm going to have to just kind of tinker with it and actually run it forward and see what I want to do. But I feel like the general idea would be all Raticates will get thirsty at a certain rate. And it obviously we don't need to be adding like 1 point to this each time. We could add it in chunks of 5 or 10 or something. But we could also consider, and I don't think we need to do this. I don't think I'll do it, but like it might be kind of fun. Like Raticates that play would get hungry faster. rather than ones that are just sitting around. If that's something I could conceive of like how to do very quickly in like a few hours of coding, then that might be worth doing. Silent Boy, hey, but banana indeed. It may be. I don't. What kind of banana are we talking about? It better be the food kind. What kind of food banana are we talking about? Banana. Oh my god, that sounds like... Holy shit, is it Donkey Kong? Shoot, there's some in-game line where I think Donkey Kong is like, oh, banana. Fuck. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Oh no, that's okay. Minions. Minions do that too. Minions definitely also do that. How am I? I'm doing all right. I have a repetitive strain injury in my arms, and like boy, it's been great for like months, and then like last week and the week before, it's been a shit show. So that's kind of a pain in the ass. But you know, I'm doing all right. Life's good. I'm functioning. I'm existing. I'm not currently at the moment not in terrible pain. This weekend was just like constantly not comfortable. It was very fucking... I was just constantly like heating a heating pad on one arm, switching it to my other arm. Crazy Pants, Chat Mod, and my partner had to do like all the chores. So, you know, that felt terrible. But other than that, I'm doing okay. How have you been, Silent Boy? There's no food, you just wanted to say banana. Yeah, that's all right. We've been messing around with a thing called SMBX2. Kind of like Mario Maker and how it works. I swear I've seen that. Cool. It's just like a fan-made engine. Hold on, we got time. This weird thing. Cool. So it's probably not as user-friendly as Mario Maker, right? Because Mario Maker is like it's crazy how well designed Mario Maker is to let you make levels in a way that's like intuitive and fun. I think if this game had half of it, it would be worth using. It is user-friendly, surprisingly. Cool. That's fun that it has new NPCs, new characters, new blocks, a new editor, and new features. Cool. A new editor from the Moondust dev kit. Moondust is a cool word. Cool. Fun. And then what do you play the levels you make in? Do you have to like make a ROM hack? Or does it have an engine to like run it? It works similar to Mario Maker. You can make your own code if you want. That's very cool. That is something that is, as far as I'm aware, Mario Maker does not allow you to do. Also, I don't remember what example we were on. I think we had finished this one. And so now it's time to check this one. You can play the levels in the same engine. Okay, cool. Great. Yeah, if you couldn't, honestly, you said it was user-friendly. If you couldn't, that would be so not user-friendly. That seems pretty obvious. I should have just assumed that. For sure. All right, I need to run through this one last example for our needs, just to make sure this functions. So, if all of our fatigue, hunger, and thirst are 60, we would start at the top, head to the left, check our needs sequence, which means check if our needs are above 50. Yes, all three of them are. Okay. Then we go to the needs selector. Okay. Then we come down to check the fatigue sequence. Is fatigue above 50? It is. Is fatigue greater than or equal to hunger? It is. Is it greater than or equal to thirst? It is. Okay, great. This is going to function fine because we have the equal signs where we need them. Then we need to decide, are we at our nest? Probably not, which means we need to go to our nest. So then this would return as a running function. Then when the tree restarts, all of those things would still be the same, but it would ask, are we at our nest? And the answer would be yes. So then we come back up here, and then we would use our nest. Great. And then the only other thing to check would be if all of our needs are met, they're less than 50. And then that would mean we would come over here. And then we would try to play, which means the Raticate would check to play. And if there's a Raticate nearby, then yes, we would in fact play. And then that means we are successful. If not, then a similar thing happens. We check our wants. We check to see if we can play. That would be a no. So then the sequence returns a no, which means the selector, seeing that this is a no, goes to the next thing and says, okay, there's no Raticates to play with this Raticate, so this Raticate is just going to idle. Great. Okay, I think that's our behavior tree. There are also pre-made games in the editor. That's really cool. I mean, I assume that like if you make a game editor, you've got to prove that it works, right? So probably a good idea to make some pre-made games for it. Okay, so this one note, do we need to add always fail to hunger? We don't anymore because we decided that we're going to have like kind of a cheat where we pretend there's always food back in their nest. And if there's no food on the map, they'll go back to their nest. And then, right, and that literally that next note explains it. Okay, so I'm going to leave the note. And that is, yeah, great. And we still have the asterisk right there. Okay, cool. So I think we have now correctly translated our behavior tree into pseudocode. And then God, it's time to actually go into Godot. I'd eradicate smoking GIF. Oh my God. Yeah, dude, Durg, it sucks. I really I wish I was some like brilliant developer or like charismatic public speaker, and I could convince like 100+ artists to like work on this game and make me a bunch of sweet idle GIFs. Maybe not one of Raticate smoking, but you know. Ooh, maybe a Charmander. Okay, a cute idle animation for a Charmander would be like lighting something on fire and like inhaling it. Be fucking funny. But yeah, it sucks to think about all the fun little things like idle animations and things that like, if I make them, they're gonna have to be so simple. They're gonna have to be so fucking simple. But basic. Okay, all right. It's fucking. I'm okay. I'm acceptable. I will accept that I am enough, but I'm not like oh my God, like Sean Murray, the guy who No Man's Sky. The guy who's like the lead developer for, can't remember the name of the people who made Hello Games? No, who made No Man's Sky? I think it's Hello Games. Oh my God. He did such a great job like convincing people No Man's Sky was going to be sweet. If I could do that. I put so many resources into streaming. You don't sit at Sean Murray streams. Yeah, you might if he streamed though. If he streamed game dev, you might. Hell, I might even. I don't know. That guy's fucking charismatic. He's persuasive. He makes me think his game's gonna be fun. If I could harness like 10% of that and like get some artists on board, like, oh hell yeah. I think that's one of the things I really, really want. If there's any way I can make it work, is like fluid, lovely animations make a game feel so alive. Just like nice little idle animations, randomized idle animations. Like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. You hate streams with over 10 active chatters. You need attention. Oh my God, Durg. Oh my God. Well, if I ever become wildly successful, I will attempt to still give you attention. And actually, I feel like I could handle about like 30 active people chatting. I could probably still like mostly pay attention to anything important that people say. And then let things go when I don't know. It's sometimes there are things that are just there. You can just kind of skip over them, you know? And I feel like when you have a good number of people in chat, they can like reply to each other. You have to sacrifice something. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, you know, I hope someday I have to figure that out. It's nice to have people just like hanging out, watching, making little comments. Especially, I feel like the main thing is when you have like 200 people watching you stream, the odds are at any given moment, one of them has something funny to say about the situation. And so then like that actually takes a bunch of pressure off of me. And not even really pressure. It just like, it like elevates the quality of the stream because there's always a fucking joke. It'll be mental health versus attention. Choose number one. Yeah. Yeah. I think I personally would. But like I said, I feel like when you get a lot of people in chat, it's like, it is almost easier to manage because then I can just pick and choose what I reply to. And then also people in chat can reply to each other. It gets easier in a strange way. It's something that Crazy Pants and I have talked about because we occasionally watch people on Twitch. I regularly watch Kyle Bosman, and he has like he has somewhere between like 300 and 500 people watching, and then there's like a dozen or so people who are like always talking. They're always there, always talking. And then like 50 or so people who just like add in silly comments now and then. And that like his chat is like a perfect dynamic. It's like exactly what I want to hit. Because there's still enough room that if people have questions for Kyle, he can see them. There's enough room, there's enough people there that if somebody has a question for Kyle, but like everybody else knows the answer to it, like there's almost always somebody who's like, oh yeah, here's the camera he uses, or here's the like streaming software he uses. It's like perfect. It's like a perfect medium small chat. But like if oh my god, I do not want over like 500 people watching me. Pseudocode today? Well, okay, I believe this like technically is pseudocode, right? Because this is not English. This is formatted in a way where if I open Godot, then like I have behave installed, and it has like sequence chunks. It has sequence root nodes. It has selector nodes. So like I think this is like close enough to what I would consider pseudocode that I think I'm good for today. Plus I want to be like gentle on my arms. They have been very angry. And I want to not wear the compression sleeves all day. So I feel like this is a good stopping point. And then I have a list so far. It's only like 6 or 7 different commands, built-in functions that Godot has, essentially, that we can use, I think, for everything. I think I have found everything that we need, like how to calculate like an XY coordinate, how to move toward objects. And so then next week, it's just going to be a long, slow process of taking those built-in functions and trying to actually make them do all these things. I honestly feel like maybe we start with just this little section, because then this we can figure out so quickly if it works or not. We can just spawn one Raticate, sorry. And if there's no other Raticate, he should idle. And if there is another Raticate, we could spawn 2 of them. Then they should like play together. So I think we can do this next week in one stream, and then we'll start hammering away at all of this fucking nonsense. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is good for today. Apologies that it was maybe lighter than I had planned. I gotta not fuck up my arms. It's fucking brutal. Also, if Crazy Pants was here, she would be like, yes, please don't, because she's had to do like all the dishes. I'm the dish person. She fucking like hates her life right now. Solar storm is wild these days. Aurora everywhere. It's amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. People on like the East Coast of the United States apparently could see it. It's fucking crazy. Dirk, can you see it where you are? You do love how warps work in this game. In SMBX2? Oh my god, was that it? Something like that. It was something like that. Yeah, it is SMBX2. How do they work? Oh my god, you won't tell. Okay, Dirk, fine. It'd be sweet if they worked like portals in the Half-Life series. You could like jump through it and maintain your momentum. My god, so I don't know where you are. I know the general area of where you are, but sure, maybe that would be too specific. You place a warp down, you have 4 options: pipe, door, instant, and or portal. Okay, pipe and door, sure. Instant's interesting. I guess typical Mario doesn't have instant teleporting, right? Wait, instant and portal works the same? That's silly. A portal should totally maintain your momentum. Like if you jumped toward a wall that had a teleport thing on it, and it was a portal one, when you come out the other side, you should be moving at like running speed. When you run into the warp, it instantly teleports you to where it is. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. But why have instant and portal? I guess you're describing it as instant / portal. Oh my god, crazy pants. Crazy pants. All right. Let me find a cool fact. Oh shit, actually no, I already had one open. Great. Well then do that. There we go. Cool. Fire rainbows are a thing, and they occur when ice crystals in a cirrus cloud refract the sun's rays, creating a multicolored cloud effect. I didn't know that was a fucking thing. I've never seen one. Maybe it's a lie. I don't fact check the facts. I just present them. So, you know, it's probably true. Probably true. It's just that instant does it immediately, where portal does the same thing but takes a bit of time. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, instant seems like it would be jarring, but that might be kind of the point. Pipe, you have to select an entrance and exit arrow, basically what direction you'll enter and exit. Yeah, and that would, I assume, work like a regular pipe in Mario. And then same with the door, right? The door probably works like a regular door in Mario. Which is just a portal. It's weird to think about pipes and doors just being like, you're just teleporting. But like, that's all they are in a video game. Yes, but you need to put the image of a door down for it to work. Interesting, it doesn't automatically do that? That's interesting. I would think it would automatically do it. I'm lazy, so that's what I would want. But you know, have a nice day. Yeah. Okay. I need to wrap up. Thank you guys for hanging out. Silent Boy, it was nice to see you again. Maybe I'll look into SMBX too. Maybe we'll play some like high rated levels. And Silent Boy, if you have a level you're proud of, maybe we can play through it. My stream schedule is currently a bit in flux at the moment, trying to figure out what to play when, because I want to have another day of game dev stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Thanks for hanging out, dudes. I'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna start Undertale, so that should be relatively easy on my arms. And then yeah, Durg, I believe you're correct. We are gonna do Lore Thursdays for sure. The only issue with it is you don't know how to download levels and also upload levels. Okay, well, figure that out. If you figure that out, then maybe we can play some SMBX2 levels. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, dudes, and have a nice day. See you around.